So today we're going to be answering some questions that you have been asking me here in my comment section, and I have to say I appreciate you guys for commenting. I really love interacting with you, and I love when I find questions that I feel like I can take and turn into videos. So one of the questions that I received was, do you find it better to do airport runs or out and about in the city? The question is from Nicholas Williams, so thank you for that, Nicholas. My answer to that question is I prefer driving around in the city, and the reason for that is I can more consistently control when I'm getting rides. So I would say that one of the biggest hurdles when it comes to the airport is that when I'm sitting there tends to be a lot of cars there. Early on in the year, there were more cars that were going out, so it was easier for me to get a ride. But sitting around and waiting on my hands when there's surge in other areas like Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, sometimes in the LA area, but not really. I will mostly go to the LA area when it's like like 3 o'clock, 3 to 5, because that in that range you got people that are leaving from work, right? So for those people, I can go and pick them up and I can take them either back home. And a lot of people, in at least in my market in LA, don't actually live in LA, or they live really far out and the ride's going to be longer, and I tend to like longer rides. Now, the new model and structure that it seems that Lyft and Uber are taking is giving advantage to short rides. Even when it comes to collecting bonuses, shorter rides are better, right? Because you can get back into the bonus zone and absorb more of the bonus. I mean, I guess that's always been the case, but shorter rides get to take advantage of that more than a long ride. So my answer to your question, city versus airport, city tends to win more often than not. Airport is really advantageous when I get a ride coming into the airport. I used to do this a lot when I was driving for Uber Black. So when I was driving for Uber Black, which I had a rental vehicle, I would pick somebody up and I would even drop down to get comfort rides, or if I couldn't find a good comfort ride, I would get a standard ride. Either one of those, so that I could get a client to take me into the airport. But as soon as I did that, I would go into my settings and change it to be black only, right? Uber Black only. So when I would drop off one person, I would immediately get a ride coming out of the airport with priority. So I never even had to go back to the lot. I would pick the person up and so with the advantage with Uber Black, I can go straight to the terminal. So I don't even go to the lot. I go around the loop, go downstairs and pick up whoever I'm picking up. And in most cases, I mean, those rides would be somewhere between $70 and $100. I would get the rides here and there that were $50 when I first started, but that's because I didn't know to be selective, because you have 4 chances. And this is a really good tip for those of you who are either first in line and you get your first ride. You don't have to accept the first ride. You can decline the first one, decline the second one. It's going to give you a notification saying that you're not ready. It looks like that you're not ready to drive, and then it'll give you a third notification, and then your fourth one. So your third ride and your fourth ride. Now you can either choose to take the fourth ride, or if it's a bad ride, you just don't take it. And there's times where I've left the airport because the rides, I didn't like the selection of rides and the fourth one wasn't good. So I just leave the airport and go find a ride somewhere else. So for that, I will say I still find it more advantageous just to find rides going through the city. Now, if there's high traffic, and now we know these next few days are going to be pretty high traffic for people coming back from their vacations and such, then I might try hitting the airport again to see if I can get some of those rides. But what I've been noticing at LAX, at least, and I'm not sure what your market is, Nicholas, but what I've been noticing is that the parking lots tend to be overfilled. So why am I going to a place where there's way too many cars, I can't park. And one of the most annoying things for me is dealing with all the smokers. I don't smoke, and people will walk or stand right next to my car where it gets sucked into my air conditioning. I have to roll up my windows. I have to turn off my air conditioning to stop the smell of smoke from coming into my car. You know, it's not a pleasant place to be, especially with so many people packed in like sardines. I wish they would expand and give us another lot, since there's so many Uber drivers that are now using LAX. But that's just the name of the game. So for me, I'd rather be out driving, and I use apps like Para or Maestro so that I can see what kind of rides I'm getting. And now with upfront pricing with Para, I can see a clear graphical view of where I'm going. So I get the graphical view. I get to map out how much the ride's going to pay me based off of either mile. It tells you how much you're going to make per mile, or you can look at it based off of how much you're going to make per hour. So the Para app is an indispensable app to me, and for now at least it's free. I don't know if they plan on making that a cost, but for now it's free. They also offer some other services in there that I don't personally use, but maybe, you know, somebody might find it useful. And I'm just looking to see if there's any more. I like the second comment you left, raw and real, nothing wrong with that. We're on this journey with you, and I appreciate that. I want my channel to be inspirational, informative, and I want to be able to alleviate, you know, clear the clouds on some of these subjects so that you can do the best driving you could possibly do, make the most that you can make. I would love to make more $30+ an hour drivers, even with standard Lyft. So I mean, I'm driving a Tesla right now, and my goal is to pay it off. And I want to start making videos showing you my process and trying to pay it off. Right now, I would say I'm about at the $2,000 range that I'm paying toward the car. I need to increase my income, and part of that is increasing the amount of people that I have as private clients, and I'm working on that. I've just come up with a new strategy. I was talking to my dad about this. I want to start going to businesses, adjusters, car dealerships, if I can find some, where people are selling their car and then they might need a ride, you know, home. What is it? Car dealerships? Not really car dealerships as much as mechanics. I want to go to different mechanic spots, but any places I can think might have a person that needs to be picked up and go somewhere. I want to start leaving my cards in those places. Hotels, you know, restaurants, if I can find some, you know, like that, because I'm going to all those places right now anyway. And there are people that don't use Uber and Lyft, and they prefer just having a driver that they know exactly what kind of car they're coming in, who the person is, and they can feel comfortable. I'm sure most of you, and you can let me know down in the comments, you've had those customers that act real nervous around you. They're not sure if they should get in the car, even though all of your information is there, your name, your license plate, what car you're supposed to be driving, and the picture of you, and still treat you like you're just trying to get them in your car to do something. It's insane. So yet they don't put a real name, they don't have a picture, and it's like, who are you here for? No. Ask what the driver, or say, I'm looking for such and such, and I can ask you, what's your name? And I've been doing that recently. I've been kind of trying to train the people that come to my car and say, what's your name, before they can get into my car, so I don't just take off with this, with somebody that's not supposed to be my client. And then, I fortunately so far I've never had that problem. So but just trying to kind of went off on a tangent on that one, but trying to change the dynamic between driver and rider, because you're a guest in my car. And if anybody should be more apprehensive about having a stranger in their car and everything like that, it should be me, when all my information's on display for you. So yeah, but yeah, airport or city, I tend to prefer driving in the city. I'd rather look for a ride and drive around. I also feel like I can find higher rates in my rides as I'm driving around in the city. And there's so many different areas that are outside of just the centralized airport where there might be too many people, which I'm finding to be more and more true recently. So I would love to know for you, Nicholas, what is it that you do? Do you prefer the airport yourself, or do you do city? And are you what kind of car are you driving? Which platform do you prefer driving on? And everybody else, please feel free to ask your questions and let me know down in the comments the same that I'm asking Nicholas, and I will see you guys in the next video.